bring him in. This is Dion Leonard from Edinburgh, Scotland. Dion, how are you, buddy? Welcome into the Zane Show.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys.
Hey. So this is the third time we've spoken, Dion. The first time, it was like the great story of how you ran your ultra in China, something that you do quite regularly. And then you were you had a little tag-along partner. It was a dog who became attached to you, and you were attached to it. And then everybody saw this amazing, great story of how the dog ran, for the most part, the entire race with you. And then you became best of friends, and you adopted the dog. That was an amazing thing, and we had you on, and we talked about that. It was great fun to have you on at that time, Dion.
Yeah, that was the good part of the story. That all sounds really perfect.
But then, when we talked about this in the segment leading up to when we just got you on, everybody was really, really upset when you revealed on Twitter that somehow the dog, when it was being looked at in quarantine as you were beginning the adoption process, getting it from country to country, which is no easy feat, by the way, the dog somehow got lost.
Yeah, it was one of the hardest phone calls I've ever received in my life, was to be told, as I was in Edinburgh, that Gobi had gone missing in Urumqi in China, city of 3 million people. So I flew back there and set up a massive search party to find her. You know, it was a needle in a haystack operation.
He was probably looking for you, or she was probably looking for you.
That's what everyone says, actually. She couldn't wait any longer. She didn't know what was going on. She didn't know I was trying my best back here to get things happening. And, you know, it's a slow process to get things happening in China. And it's not really Chinese requirements. Actually, the UK requirements to allow a dog into the country is a problem.
Yeah. Now, can you take us back to that time? You mentioned that you were in a city of 3 million people. With the language being an issue, I mean, were you able to mobilize like a bunch of volunteers like you often see in any community where you might live or I might live?
Yeah, absolutely. No different, to be honest. But we got some people from Urumqi who knew what they were doing, knew the city really well, and had the contacts. They set up the sort of main crux of the search party, while I did all of the social media aspects and all the interviews across all of their TV, press channels, etc., which really then got the whole city behind it. And we basically had 3 million people looking for this little dog. It was just incredible how supportive they were.
So it was all over the place, and then, when it came to finding the dog, though, it was like you were there when the dog was actually found, right? Or you were nearby? How did it go?
Yeah, I was nearby, and I actually got a phone call from the lead organizer of the search team saying, we've got the dog, we think we found the dog, and they've sent me a picture of it, and it was quite late at night, and I'd been searching for days, and was, you know, a bit down in the dumps, and we'd had some fake sort of Gobi sightings, and I actually looked at this picture and just thought, oh, this isn't Gobi, this is just another dog that looks a little bit like her, but thankfully they sort of persuaded me to come out and look at it. They were really, you know, keen for me to come and see it, and they sent another couple of pictures, and as we were driving out to see her, I thought, actually, this could be her. But I walked into the room, and there's people that have found her, their living room, and I was sort of back of the crowd, and I walked in, and Gobi sort of spotted me from the other side of the room. She came racing across the room and jumped up in my arms. So It was amazing, because I hadn't said a word. I was a little bit disinterested in actually being there, to be honest. I wanted to be in the hotel room in bed having a beer. So it was great that it was her, and we went and saw her.
Wow. Just the whole element of, yeah, it could be it, but I don't think so. And you kind of walked in, and she picked you out of the crowd, Dion.
Yeah. And, you know, that is the amazing thing. She has just done this from the moment that we've been together. She's always just, yes, it was her decision to start running with me, and that's where all this bond's been formed.
Man, how much of the running did she actually do again? Because it was over several days, was it not?
Yes, she did 4 stages. She ran 77 miles of the 155-mile race. So
in the
incredible.
desert.
Yeah, in the desert, and she's super quick. So she's capable of doing 6-minute miles consistently, and she was making me look really slow. So I had some work to do to keep up with her.
Yeah.
When I was looking online, I noticed that Gobi has a Wikipedia page, but you don't. Any jealousy there?
That comes back to my last point. You know, she's a better runner. She's more famous than me. Yesterday we were opening up the London Book Fair in London, obviously, and everyone knows Gobi. Oh, is that Gobi? Is that Gobi? And then it's like, and who are you?
Who's that old man with
That's exactly how I like it.
It's like, I'm the guy. It's me. Dion Leonard is our guest. And, as we were speaking to you, Dion, about the first story, which was interesting enough, that Gobi had run 77 miles. And then the loss and then the subsequent finding of Gobi, that was tremendous. And I was like, my God, this is better than any book. It's better than any film. But and it was with that that made me smile when I saw that going on sale in the U.S. in June will be Dion Leonard, Finding Gobi, the book. Take us through that process of how that came to be, your book about this exact moment, please.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal. And we actually had basically all of the big publishers chasing the deal and wanting to put together the book. And the reason we went with HarperCollins is they've actually wanted to also not only do a main adult book, but also a young middle-aged book, and then also a children's picture book as well. So the children's picture book is going to be amazing because that's through Gobi's eyes. And I get asked all those questions, where was Gobi in the desert? What was she doing? What was she living on? And well, no one knows those answers except Gobi. So we can have a little bit of fun with that around the picture book side of things and put it through her perspective. And then the young adult book is basically the adult book, but it's rewritten for teenagers, and it brings into perspective a lot of the Finding Gobi part of it. And the adult book really resonates the whole story, but my reasons for running and my back life as well. And there's a lot of drama and emotion there, and that provides the connection as to why I go to the extent that I look after Gobi and the bond we have together.
Yeah, so you describe in an emotional sense how this has affected you and what you've been able to take away from it. I imagine this has completely changed your life.
Yeah, I've become a glorified dog sitter now, really. But it has. It's changed my perspective on a lot of things, and that's been something that, I was going out there to that race in June last year to try and win it and compete, and, nothing of this was in my mindset, obviously, and, from where it's taken us both has really changed both of our lives further.
Now, Dion, you're not like just some age grouper in ultra marathons. You like you said, you're trying to win these races, and you've had great success with sponsorships and things like that. In doing this, is that still in your wheelhouse, or has this occupied all of your time? Are you still training?
I'm still training, not as much as I'd like, but actually this has been such a big focus at the moment, and just trying to hit the deadlines for the June release and all of the books actually coming out next year, this year between June and August. So we've had lots of work to do with that, and it's been incredibly difficult to fit it in. So I could probably do with a little bit more training at the moment, but I've got some races coming up, and Gobi and I are actually looking to do some smaller races together here in Scotland as well.
Yeah, that was my next question. The dog will race with you?
Yeah, her desert days are done, but she's definitely keen for the sort of 5 mile, 10 mile runs around here, and we have something called a Canicross series where you run with your dog, and I think we can win a few races together, so we might go and try our luck with that.
Dion Leonard is joining us from over in the UK. And sorry, go ahead.
How old is Gobi? Do you have any idea?
That was my next question. Go ahead.
Yeah, we think she's between 2 and 3 years old. Most of the vets that have had a look at her think that that's the age group. So we're going to celebrate her 3rd birthday in June, which will be the anniversary of when Gobi and I met last June. Mm-hmm. So then we can officially say she's 3 years old.
What has she done to get in trouble? All dogs get in trouble. And Dion, what stands out to you?
She really likes chewing on my socks and beanies and clothing. And so if I do leave her and have to go out at any point, I have to put away all of the clothes.
Yeah.
Which, if she gets into my cupboard, she does run amok in there.
Now,
she's just training you to put clothes away.
Pretty good.
Yeah, she's training you. Now I have a dog.
My wife's been trying that for years.
Yeah. It's a partnership. She and your wife are making you do that. My dog never knows when he's in trouble. Like if he does something and you raise your voice, he doesn't get it. Is Gobi oblivious, or do you even bother raising your voice because of what you guys have been through?
No, you're right. she's definitely got me wrapped around the paws. So we don't. I haven't had to raise my voice at her at any point.
Yeah.
And, you just can't when she looks at you with these big brown eyes, and she's just your heart melts.
Oh, it's one of the cutest damn dogs I've ever seen, Dion. What type of dog is this anyway?
We think it's, again, most vets think it's Chihuahua mixed with maybe Shih Tzu or Terrier, but it's northern China. There's probably less likely to be much Border Terrier up there, but it's very similar looking to that.
It's a great-looking dog. I mean, I just love these mixed-breed dogs. That's a fantastic-looking dog. My gosh. Now, Dion, we talked about the book and the amazing thing there. You said it's going to be out in the U.S. in June, correct?
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll be across there from the 12th of June. We're looking to do a book tour with HarperCollins, and there's more details to come from that over the next few weeks.
That's going to be big, man. And then I understand a film is also going to happen, correct?
That's correct. So we've been able to announce that this week, that Fox, 20th Century Fox, have actually agreed to take the rights and to produce it into a film, an action film, so live-action film. So,
oh, yeah.
That's
listen,
exciting, and
if there's a part...
Again, we had...
I'm sorry, go ahead, man.
Sorry. So I was going to say, we actually had all of the big movie houses interested in that, and again, phenomenal interest all around the world, even across Asia and Australia.
I believe it.
As well, so.
I believe it. And if, I think Julius and I talked about this off the air. It would be so cool if part of this story was you're talking to media around the world and you happen to talk to this little old radio show in the middle of Michigan in the U.S. who just fell in love with you, because I got your name from the race director from the Gobi race. I got your email from him, and that's how this all started, and we've kind of hit it off.
Well, if it makes, I mean, you guys have been there. You've been one of the couple that have been with us from the start, and you get a nice little plug in our book as well.
Thank you.
We're really appreciative for all the support
man.
you guys over there.
You're very kind, Dion.
Who do you want to play you in the movie? Like Matthew McConaughey, or?
I think they're all going to struggle with, one, keeping my looks intact, and I don't know if many of them are going to run that far, are they? That's going to be a bit of an issue. So
make sure it's someone who knows how to run, though. When I say that, I mean
Jason Statham.
I mean someone who knows how to run that type of race, or they at least train them. Because, like, there was a movie about a cross country team Kevin Costner did. What was it called?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. And like the number one on the cross country team, the kid weighed like 250, and it was cast so poorly. And he's running like, in the film, he's running like Steve Prefontaine times, but he looks like he's a linebacker.
Yeah, so get Jonah Hill to play Dion.
Yeah, it was all jacked in that film. But so make sure it's a wiry guy who looks like an arrow, like you. So,
If we could get Hugh Jackman to do it, he could do the accent very well. Then I think
that'd make you look great.
Cool.
Dion, have you met any famous people with regard to this? Because everybody wants a piece of you right now. I mean, it's like the thing, the story.
No, we've done loads and loads of interviews, as you know, and loads of TV stuff. And I think, now with the book launch coming, we've got more planned with that. And, of course, moving forward into coming over to the States, I think we're talking to some pretty big TV shows over there.
Nice.
To get on with them. And so that could be really good fun.
Yeah, I knew it. It's a big deal. Very, very cool. Dion, we're so glad we got to connect again, man. It's been way too long. And you know how this happened, man? I didn't even know about the book. A listener just asked, and then I reached out, and there we are. Here we have this announcement that the book is coming out in June. So I'm super stoked that we were able to get you on, buddy.
Cool. We'll try and get your copy sent out. And thanks again for all your support, guys.
I'll reach out. We'll talk to you very soon. Dion, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Yep, and give Gobi a hug for us, man.
Will do.
All right, peace and love. Dion Leonard. There he is. Very, very cool. Nice guy. Man. That dog is just, I love that dog.
It's a goofy looking
God,
dog.
Is he great.
Did you see the picture on Twitter of Dion holding Gobi next to the Fox, 20th Century Fox people?
Oh, and they cut the deal. Of all the movie houses, man, 20th Century Fox.
She has this look on her face.
I didn't want to ask him. What do you think the price tag on this is? I mean, this is magical.
This is money that he would never have made running races. I guarantee you.
Well, no, he's a successful businessman. What he does with his career, and I'm going to put that on hold for a little bit. Maybe a nice 2-year run of publicity for this story.
Well, it's essentially them buying his story. It's not just them making him.
Exactly.
He's the writer, essentially,
and
right?
He just lived it, and he's a really nice guy too. So you're happy for him. You're pulling for him for the whole thing. And I know Dion will probably do a lot of amazing things with that money. He's just that type of guy.
Yeah, they donated all the leftover money to a. What was it? Like a shelter.
What had happened was it cost a lot of money to get Gobi from China. And so that was involved with that. And once that was covered, he gave it all away. Very cool.